Hi, it's Lynn, and I was thinking about work and how work functions and the relationships of people at work. And I've been working at the same job for over 20 years, so I've seen a lot of changes in that time. I've seen new bosses, new directors, new direction. And now that I'm a little bit older and hopefully I think I'm a little wiser, I've been thinking work is not really about work. It's not really about what you do at work. It's not really about the outcomes. Instead, it's about the relationships between the people that you work with. So, for example, you might be a architect slash designer slash developer slash builder. And I'm picking this profession, and I do know some architects and designers and builders and contractors and stuff like that, but I'm not thinking of any particular person when I use this profession, this job role. I'm using this because it's easy to see the outcome, right? Either there's a tall building built, a skyscraper, you can build a house, a mall. So it's easy to see what that outcome is from this type of profession. And but it really doesn't matter what your title is, what your education is, what your background is, what your level is, what your pay grade is, what I'm not going to say that it just doesn't matter at all and magically skyscrapers pop up downtown. No. It does take knowledge in order to build a building that will stand up and not fall down and hold people and carry weight and loads and still stand after hurricanes and earthquakes and storms and so forth. But what I'm saying is the more important part of working is the people that you work with and how those relationships unfold. Right? It's about, and I'm not saying that you have to be like nice to everybody. Be nice to everyone and give all your resources away. I'm saying if you are, for example, a contractor and you're out on the site and you pour the foundation of a building, you have to keep some control in order to make sure that the next step in the process, putting up for example, the studs on a house, the walls, the framing for the walls, you can't do that until the cement is dry, until the foundation is cured. But if you're out there on the site, you've poured the foundation, and here come the guys to work, and they're coming to build nail the studs to the foundation and start putting up walls, and you yell at them and you're like, you blah blah idiot, or you can't do that, or if you're condescending, especially if it's your fault, right? Because you're the contractor and you're supposed to plan for these things. But your relationship with your teams and your subs, do you treat them fairly? Do you work with them well? I mean, there's a lesson in everything in life, right? And so how you work with the people that you need to work with makes the biggest difference. Maybe you're the type of contractor that plans everything well, and you can get people there on time, and so when they're there, you compliment them, maybe you tip them, and you create these bonds. And the outcome, the final product, will reflect you along the way. How you treat people, what your strengths are, what you put into it. For example, if you've ever watched Dr. Emoto, he has videos and research on water and how it's basically quantum physics, but if you talk nicely of water, it has a certain structure. If you talk mean and rude to water, it takes on an ugly structure and characteristic. You can go Google it. He has books. He has lots of videos. Dr. Emoto, like emotion. I think that's cute. That's interesting. But anyway, Dr. Emoto. So if you're building a house and you're rude along the way and you're mean to people and you don't get along and you don't admit to your mistakes and you put that kind of energy, that energy may carry over into the house. It's not just water, that your emotions, your way of being, the way you project yourself out onto people and into the world affects your final product. And it's kind of like, I see a couple of other things too. Karma. So if you push out this wave of, it can come back around, and boop. It affects you at some point. But usually when that, boop, comes back around, people don't recognize necessarily that what they put out is that energy, that force, that the final product, the final house that isn't selling, that's sitting there, or that has a lot of complaints, boop, started with you. So if you're working in an office, let's just say a manager, the way you treat people that work for you will also reflect, like if they don't care for you, if they don't like you, if they don't respect you because you're not respecting them, or you carry yourself as though you don't care about them, then that may reflect in your final report, in your presentation, in the loan that went through, in the number of clients you have, etc., right? Because if you're like rude and nobody likes you because you're being whatever kind of way, you may not sell any cars. So again, it's not that it doesn't matter what you produce, what you sell, what the outcome is, but it kind of doesn't matter. It's about the lesson in life, because there are people that job hop from job to job to job to job, right? Every 6 months, every year, whatever, they're quitting, going somewhere else. Well, maybe it's not always the other people. Maybe, has to do something with you might be doing, or you could do better. At my office, I've seen things repeat. I've had many different directors, for example, but some of the things that go on in the office are exactly the same, no matter who the director is, no matter who the manager is. What are you putting into your day? What are you putting into your work? Are you getting out of it what you want, And sometimes it's not always in your control what comes out of it. But even if it's like the outcome, the output is not what you wanted or not what you planned, what was your contribution? So I hope this helped you, and I hope you have a good day. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.